Finally, you're gonna see the tiles on this roof. This has been the hardest part of the project so far.
Yes, it was a mental workout that required a lot of patience. A lot to see.
A lot to show.
So let's get started.
So imagine this being our house. We have our ridge and our eave. And then we have our corner battens spaced evenly. Our tile have a gauge adjustability between 36.5 and 38.5 centimeters. Gauge adjustability simply means how much tiles can shift between each other up and down and still have a good overlap, which will allow for a proper protection from wind and rain and for the tiles to lay evenly. So we're talking about 2 centimeters, which is actually not too much. So that means that we need to lay our battens within that range because the tiles will sit on them. Okay, so first thing, we need to cut these corner battens that extended a bit or a lot further. Let's first show you all the parts that we're going to be using for this construction. We have our battens here. These are 3x5. Then this is basically a holder for the ridge batten. Our ventilated foil, I think it's called, also for the ridge. We have a strap against wind for the first tile on the eaves. We have a strap for the ridge tiles. We have a screw that's going to be fixing the tiles into a batten. And then we have a screw that's going to be fixing battens into corner battens. And that's about it. Hopefully we didn't forget anything, but if yes, we'll let you know.
And we have a new character in this episode.
Ah, yes. The one and only my dad. He has his new shoes. Look, he really... This is how you prepare to come and help. Yes. Completely new shoes.
Wow, very good.
Let's cut these corner battens and then get to work. These little things, honestly, really, I'm starting to love these battery powered tools because, yeah, it's just so easy to handle. You know, you clip it out in, no need for a cable, and yeah, I mean, that's basically it.
That's also a required skill to build a house, you know, martial arts like this, yeah. Like such.
How does it feel?
It's my jam.
Okay, now we're gonna give the third member to try as well.
Yeah. Give me.
Bravo. Nice. How do you feel?
Very, very good.
I hope you did it.
Honestly, he did it better than us.
We need to step up our game.
Yes. Okay, so first step of our batten installation is our ridge batten, right? So this is a ridge, right? It's the center line where between the two slopes. We need to find a perfect middle, and then this actually you can ignore this, it's gonna go on top. So we're gonna set the holders, right? Our ridge batten is gonna go here. We'll use, I think, each 80 centimeters, so about 4 or 5 across our ridge. 4 or 5 of these, it's gonna be enough. And these are, as you can see, these are flexible, height adjustable, so you can basically set the height however you want, right?
And then the button goes here.
Yeah, the ridge batten goes there, yeah.
The first tiles on the roof. Woo. Now this is just a test. We wanted to test how the ridge tiles are interacting with the other tiles. We needed to make sure that they are overlapping.
284,5 точно ovdje, zategnuto do vrha.
Nice. So we got the same size, 284.5, well, 285. You can circle it half a centimeter spread on this roof is not gonna make a difference, but yeah, no, cool.
Mira. A good friend of us brought us some food so we don't starve. So it is a type of burek, homemade, and it has vegetables inside. It's burek with less oil. Then you have like a dip here. And Steaua,
That's the apple crumble pie.
so she made apple crumble and she brought us. Isn't that amazing? Ciao! Bak, vidimo se. Adios!
We have our final measurements for the batten. So since we have 285 from the ridge down to the eaves on both sides, and we squared everything, the first one is gonna go 34 point. Believe it or not, the whole day passed yesterday and we just figured out what to do here. This has been the hardest task so far.
So remember our animation? Actually, this is the real situation. Our walls are way more crooked than we thought, and our house is also small. So we had this gauge adjustability of 36.5 and 38.5 centimeters. We went for a safe route and chose 37.5 to be sure, but we just couldn't fit the full rows. The problem is, when you have a small roof, you always have less playroom. So if we have this gauge adjustability of 2 centimeters between 36.5 and 38.5, the more rows you have, the more it will pile up. You will always be able to end up with the full row. But in a small house like ours, no matter how we would spread our tiles within that gauge, it didn't work. We were always a bit over 6 rows and under 7 rows, so we couldn't get the full rows.
So yeah, finished result 285. This is how our tiles will go. We're gonna cut this, have nice overhang of I think around 5 centimeters, and then going up we have 5 rows of 37.5 centimeters, which is within that manufacturer's gauge, and then the last tile is going to be cut at 13.5. Measurements are here for the first two. We're going to measure each just to make sure, and then put the tiles.
We are ready to install the battens.
Now, champion lunch for champions, as Paul says. We have
Leftovers.
leftovers from yesterday. Goulash with rice that my mom made, which is actually delicious. Look at this. Whoa. Delicioso.
Ah, delicious.
Exactly.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers, people. A little break and then we're back to putting tiles. I was trying to catch Arka. She came a bit, oh, sun is going to my eyes. She came a bit too late for lunch. We already ate everything. This was amazing. Now we gotta go back to work, which is always hard after a good break like this. We're really squeezed here between this house and ours. So before installing the last batten here that's gonna support the lower edge of the eave tiles, we have to already cut what's extra of the counter battens and I see down. We're gonna have to cut a bit of OSB as well. It's gonna be very tricky here to install a gutter, or we'll have to find some solution for the water not to drip down and then just go between the two houses. But yeah, and when it comes to these kind of situations where you're really squeezed, reciprocating saw is the only solution. I'm loving this tool more and more, really. That's proper.
all the battens are here, nicely spaced. And last you saw us cutting this. That was very tricky, but yeah, we needed to cut it. So we have the last tile laying here and then being supported on the eaves on the lower edge here. And then we're gonna have 5 centimeter overhang and then the gutter here. We can show you here with the tiles better. Exactly, so this is, yeah, so this is the last tile, and now you can see it overhangs nicely for 5 centimeters. We have enough space to install a gutter here, and it's gonna drip directly into the gutter. That's it, we're leaving for today. And look what happened to our dear Frano on his forehead. So he went to pick up asparagus or some plants for his chicken, and unfortunately he didn't see a rebar and he hit. Kako se to desi?
A kako? Kako sam udrio?
It happens, he says, it's okay. Frano will survive and we're gonna go eat deliciously. Fill up the energy for tomorrow. New day, new challenge. I'm not gonna make any promises. I learned, so I'm joined here by my dad. Pao is working, it's week. So we're gonna take on the task of finishing this side with battens, and let's see how that goes. What do you say?
Let's finish it.
He's confident. Let's go.
So we started with cutting the OSB and insulation on this side. And then we pass on to measuring everything. And finally, it was time to put battens. This actually, believe it or not, took the whole day.
Here we are back at the house, so no way, this really is the trickiest work I've done so far in the house, 100%, so it really requires mental dexterity. This eaves here, so this edge of the house is going outside quite a lot compared to up to the ridge, and that means once we place the tile up and try to do this row here, the first row, we figure out how much we're gonna have to cut the tile, and it's just too much. And then there's another thing, I don't know if we talked about this, but we're also going to be using verge tiles. So these are the tiles that go at the edge of each verge, left and right, and they serve for two things. First, aesthetically it's going to look good, and second, it protects the verges from wind and rain. So if you can imagine this regular tile, the left one on the left verge is going to cover it from here and then slant vertically down for 10 centimeters. If this tile was on the right side, the right verge tile is gonna come here. It has a wave and it's gonna connect here and then also continue vertically down for 10 centimeters. The problem with these is it takes some time to get them, and we want to put the tiles that we already have on the roof. What we're gonna do, we're just gonna put the regular tiles, and then we already calculated the space that the left verge tile requires, and also the right one. For that, actually, I called the Winnebega or Tondach support team, and they confirmed what I saw online. So the left one requires 16 centimeter space on the battens past this last regular tile, and then the right one requires 23 centimeters on the batten on this side. So we're just gonna leave after the last regular left tile, we're gonna leave 16 centimeters, and then past the last right tile on the verge, we're gonna leave 24 centimeters, and that's how we're gonna have space for these, and we can install them when they come. What a delight to see this. So the first eaves row is done. We have the special anti-wind strap there, and we're using that strap on each here on eaves, and that's only for eaves, meaning for this first row. And then we're also screwing, not nailing, we're screwing every tile here in the eaves row. So as I said, we calculated there, we left on that verge 23 centimeters for the last verge tile, which then slopes vertically down. And then we left here 16 centimeters, which is going to be exactly to the end of our counter after there. And then we're going to cut a little bit here. And that's it for today. Look how amazing this looks like. So we're almost done. We only have one and a half row because the last one is going to be short, around 13 centimeters. So we're going to cut it short. And yeah, so glad that this turned out good, at least so far. And you can see here here at the verge. We left 16 centimeters on this side for the verge tile, and we came pretty good here in relation to the ridge, so we didn't strain too far out. I'll leave you there and see you tomorrow. This morning started good. You remember that we were missing the edge pieces, right? So right and left verge parts, and then also the venting tiles, the ones that the air can escape through. Which we definitely need. So we need 30 edge tiles. It's 15 for the left side, 15 for the right. Then we need 4 venting tiles, and then we need 2 finishing ridge pieces. I've been calling, I think, 10 stores here throughout Croatia, or at least here on the coast, Dalmatian coast, where we can actually drive by car. And I found most of it already, so that's really gonna help out. We're here in Split. I came with my dad.
Hello.
And they have most of the edge pieces. Really gonna help us because now we don't need to estimate how much we need to leave. We're gonna put them straight away, and then also on the other slope we can start with them immediately. They have all the venting tiles, and that's very important because it would really be hard if we put out regular tiles then to take them out and install these. I was really worried about that. And then they also have the 2 edge pieces. Let's pick them up and let's go install them. You can see here behind me, they have a lot of Wienerberger, these Tondak tiles, but the issue is these are all the same color, and it's the usual color that everyone puts here on the roof. It's red, so yeah, as many as your hard ones, but not in our color, and that's the issue why we're waiting so long. And here they are. So we have our left pieces, right pieces, not all, but it's okay. Enough to cover the majority and to see how we stand. And also we have, let me show you. So this is the venting tile, right? You can see how it's raised here on the back. The air that comes from the eaves and flows towards the ridge up, it can basically escape through these tiles. So we're gonna have 2 of these on each slope, second row from the ridge. And then we have our, now you can see what I was meaning when I say it goes vertically down. So basically this is the left, this is the right tile that's gonna go on that side there of the eaves, and it's gonna close the side with this. So you can see it has 2 of these waves. That's the right one, and then we have the left tile which goes here on this verge, and you can see also it has this vertical drop down to close the verge from the side. Let's go put them. Oh my god, no way. Now on the roof, and the other side there where the edge tile goes on top of these is, well, easy, and this one is, that's gonna be very hard because the last tile needs to go under these, and obviously, yeah, it cannot. We knew that it needs to go under, but we checked online with ChatGPT, which, by the way, didn't do such a good job, and we also called, as I said, that Wienerberger got tech support, and he said that it's possible, and it's actually not. So now we have to be taking out another layer, and then maybe another, to get this under. No way. Let's see how. Yeah, this is not going. So the thing is, for each, yeah, they told us, and we thought that it's going to be simpler, but it's not just raising the last one for a bit. It really needs to be lifted up quite a lot, and for that, honestly, what we need to do is take everything what we did yesterday so we can install this properly. This hurts. This really hurts. But yeah, you know the attitude on this channel. Let's do it.
So we slowly started taking the rows down until we reached the second to the last row, and we could manage to fit those 2 verge tiles there. Then we were able to put everything all over again. Night caught us, but we managed to do it in the same day. Look, we came to pick up eggs from Frano. We buy our domestic eggs from Frano, and look what he's doing. So he's basically knitting this. So it's a branch, and then all of these, he put them together and knit them like this. You can see here. And it's actually takes quite a lot of time. Look how much he has left. So this how much he collected, and all of this on the floor are leftovers. So it really takes a lot of time. And this is for, in Croatia it's called Cvjetnica. I don't know in English, but it's a week before Easter, so Sunday before Easter.
Reci koliko naplaćuje, reci.
Hoću. Frano explained me, so I didn't even know. So yeah, basically he sells this for 8 euros each. And then you basically buy this, you put it under the mattress where no one sleeps, so it gets pressed and it's gonna be nice and pressed. And then you take it to church, and then they bless your olive. Cool.
Kaži im koliko košta.
Rekao sam.
Koliko si mi rekao?
8 euros. Each is 8 euros. He's making sure that I said 8 euros each one of these. So if anyone wants to buy, here it is.
Ajdemo i pomalo.
And by the way, his head healed pretty good. You can see there.
Vidi moga žutka.
That's his other cat.
Wow! It's the first time I'm seeing this in real life. Looks really stunning. This is so exciting. And I'm so glad we went for this color. Really goes good with the stones. It needs to be like... Doesn't need to lay like this. Look, this is the last step for today. No. No,
We just arrived.
Yeah, we are setting up now the edge tiles, and because we did the battens a bit longer, now we need to cut them. So I'm gonna start marking the place that we need to cut the batten. Done. Look how nicely it's sitting. Perfect.
Cut this.
It seems that we're gonna have to cut the video short here. You see that we set the first row just to space it out. Well, you remember that on the other slope, my dad and I needed to remove almost all the tiles to fit the edge tiles. So yeah, we knew yesterday that we only bought 10 of these, so we're missing 5 on this row. But why we thought that this might work and we might finish the roof without having them for now is we had 2, we actually have 3 here, and we thought if we place these 3, each of these that comes on top is going to be a little bit up by itself, right? So then we're going to be able to squeeze them. And what we did now, we tried exactly that, and it is a bit better than without it, but it still doesn't go.
Now we have to wait for the rest of the edge tiles, but that's okay. We are very happy and satisfied with what we achieved to this point. We hope you enjoyed this video and that you're liking our roof. Let us know in the comments, we will be happy to read your thoughts. Thank you so much for watching, and if you like these videos, please like, comment, subscribe, and share with whoever you think they might like our project. See you in our next video. Take care!